And we're continuing our series on ethnic Koreans in Central Asia, known as the Koryo Saram. Their ancestors left Korea for the Russian Far East in search of a better life in the early 20th century. They were later forcibly deported to Central Asia by Joseph Stalin in the 1930s. But decades of displacement have failed to stop some of them from keeping their Korean heritage alive. Lim Yun-suk with this report.
Young performers rehearsing Korean dance. Inside this theater, with more than 90 years of history in the heart of the Kastani city of Almaty. But the dance troupe is not from Korea. Instead, these ethnic Korean dancers call neighboring Uzbekistan home. They're in fact the Koryo or Koryo Saram, descendants of ethnic Koreans scattered across Central Asia and Eastern Europe following their forced deportation by Joseph Stalin in the 1930s. Most Koryo Saram don't speak any Korean. They communicate in Russian and other local languages. Soya Kim is one exception. The 70-year-old who specializes in traditional Korean dance and singing was born and raised in Kazakhstan by her artist parents who instilled in her a love for traditional Korean cultures.
우리 고려인들이니까 우리는 모국에서 이렇게 멀리 떨어져 있으면서 여기서는 뭐 우리 문화 예술 뭐 지키고 발전시켜야 한 그런 역할을 하고 있어요. 그게 아주 중요하다고 생각해요. 그러니까 우린 자랑스럽죠. 이건 지켜야지. 우리 부모님들이 이거 다 만들었는데 우린 지키고 가야죠.
네, 안녕하세요. 앉으시고요.
In recent years, as the South Korean economy prospers, more young Koryoins, or even people in Central Asia in general, have taken an interest in the Korean language. Ho Sun-heng was one of the first people to teach the Korean language in Central Asia. He visited Tashkent in 1992, shortly after Uzbekistan gained its independence and formed diplomatic ties with South Korea. A fresh graduate then, he was intrigued by the existence of this group of ethnic Koreans in the former Soviet territories, as told by his university professor. He fell in love with teaching and the city and ended up setting up a language school here. The school caught the attention of the South Korean government, and in 2011, it was given the status as a branch of the government-funded King Sejong Institute.
고려 말은 이제 집에서 조금 쓰는데 대부분 이제 밖에 나와서 러시아 말을 쓰다 보니까 어떻게 보면 이렇게 한글 학교가 개설이 되니까 정말 그 모국어 배우자 그런 생각으로 많이 찾아왔었죠. 나이 드신 분들이 쓰는 그런 고려말 그거하고 별도로 이제 순수 이제 표준 한국어를 배우는 거죠, 청소년들은.
저는 코리아인이니까 코리아인이라서 한국어를 배우기 시작했어요. 네, 할머니가 저한테 자주 다양한 얘기를 했어요. 근데 제가 그때 잘 듣지 않았어요. 근데 이렇게 살아보니까 이런 얘기를 잘 들어야 한다고.
Traditionally, young people in Central Asia tend to go to Russia for jobs. But as the Russian economy titters under the weight of the Western sanctions over the Ukraine war, many started looking beyond Russia for opportunities. For some Koryo Saram, South Korea was an obvious choice. And some are hoping to get a job with South Korean companies operating in Central Asia with the language skills. There are also those who decided to try it out in the land where their ancestors came from. Lim Yun-suk, CNA, Central Asia.
Tomorrow, in the final part of the series, Yun-suk will meet Koryo Saram, who chose to start anew in South Korea.